All right, so it is Sunday. It's 7:35. I mean 7:35 now. Um, why does this say that it's 7:34? Why is my clock off? Yeah, so apparently the time changed. I had no idea because why would I? Yeah, so I'm just gonna jump into the trading analysis real quick so we can see what's happening. So basically, you see this gap between Friday and when we open. So have we filled that gap? We've filled that gap. This little spike up here, right here, has filled, well, basically almost, maybe a slightly off, but we just filled this gap. This was a nice push up, and this was an entry here at, um, well, I mean, this wouldn't have been an entry, this would have been an entry. So now because we filled the gap, I don't know where we're headed. So, we'll just watch it for now. But I just wanted to pop in and say that's what is happening. Well, that's what just happened currently. But yeah, let's talk, people. Let's talk. Let me just get fully set up here. I set up the stream, but then I don't know. I started writing this book and I got distracted. I finished a whole scene, but I got distracted. And so I was writing for maybe an hour and a half. And I looked at the time and I'm like, oh no, it's time for the stream now. So from one thing onto the next. Let's get this going. All right. So yeah, this Sunday was a pretty busy. Let's talk about the weekend. Well, what happened this weekend? Nothing really. I mean, there was really nothing major. Like, there weren't any catastrophes. There weren't any I don't know, really exciting things or really horrible things. It was just kind of okay, it's the 1st of November. Um and this morning I woke up, I took Zazia. Well, first I fed him and then we cleaned up the house a little bit, started the laundry, we went to the park, we went to go charge the Tesla, and then we came back. Then I went to the store, got a few things for food. I don't know why, but ever since I've started eating, so in the morning I'll have 2 slices of Dave's Killer Bread, whole wheat, 9 grain. No, it's not 9 grain. It's 21 grain. I don't know why I said 9, but yeah, 21 grain, and I will have that and some it's not avocado, so it's guacamole, because I want the rest. I want the onions and the tomatoes and the spice, so not just plain avocado. So I get guacamole, and then I fry up an egg, and I put a slice of pepper jack cheese, cut the egg and cheese in half when it's done cooking, but one half on one slice of bread, one half on the other slice. I don't know, for some reason I've been eating that for like the last, I don't know, maybe 5 days, maybe 4 or 5 days, and it's so good. Like, I'm not even hungry throughout the rest of the day. Like, yeah, I feel like, okay, I'm a little hungry, but I'm not like, famished. Like, I feel satisfied. I don't know why, but it's really delicious. And anyways, so that's what I went and got today, with some more guac because I was out. And then I came back and then I put the groceries away, um, switched some laundry loads, and then I went out again. Oh, we got a red bird. I went out again with Zazio, and um, we went to the pet store, PetSmart, and I always let him pick out like a little treat, a little chew bone. So we went to the pet store and he got to pick out a little bone, which was nice. Um, and then yeah, after that, came home, and it's so weird because every Sunday, I I get up early, I do a bunch of stuff, and then by like noon, it's like, what do you do now? Um, I didn't log into church today, and why, you may ask? I don't know. I just didn't. And thank goodness the Bible app. So the Bible app, I always, when I stream, I always go onto the Bible app. But when it's the weekend, I'm not streaming, and sometimes I get distracted, and so I don't. And so I lost my streak, and when I logged in this morning, it was like, you can save your streak one time, once a month, if you're over like 9 days or something. So I was like, oh my goodness, thank you. So my streak on the Bible app is up. But anyways, not that that's super important, but the verse today is this: Psalm 56, verse 3. It says, "But when I am afraid, I will trust in you." And I mean, let's talk about trading, because that's why we're here. And not even just trading, but life. We'll talk about trading and we'll talk about life. You know, is trading easy? No, it's scary. It is scary. Having to come in and you don't know what you're walking into, as far as, is the market gonna chop? Is it gonna fake you out? You don't know. And so it is scary to show up and not know what the outcome is going to be. And I feel like out of all the reasons why I don't trade, that's probably one of the bigger ones, is the fear. And there's a fear. But that last part, I will trust in you. And that's the big one, right? Is trust. Even when things are uncertain, when you don't know what's gonna happen. And let's zoom out from trading in just life in general. I don't know a lot of things. You know, sometimes my job is uncertain. You know, this weekend I had to deal with a situation where, you know, Fridays are supposed to be chill days, but instead, you know, sometimes people, supervisors, you know, they don't do their job. And then I have to make up for that. And so, you know, my Friday was a little bit stressful, very frustrating for sure. But the thing about it was that the way that it's, I say designed, but the way that it works is, when other people don't do their job, it reflects badly on me. And it shouldn't be that way, but it is. And so, you know, I used to be afraid, like when I first started, I used to be afraid that, you know, I was gonna get fired for, you know, oh, you didn't do this, you didn't. I'm like, well, I couldn't have done that because this person didn't do this that they were supposed to do. But I was just constantly, you know, anxious about that because I couldn't control what this person does or that person does. I can only control what I do, and then the rest, I just have to trust in God that He's gonna handle everything else. And He has so far up until this point. I have no complaints. I can complain about my bosses, but I mean, at the end of the day, God's in control and I'm still there. So having faith and trust is the only thing really that gets me through some of those stressful times. And so when this past Friday, when my boss was being annoying, you know, I just did what I needed to do, and then I clocked out and I was like, bye. You guys can deal with that, because like my mom always used to say, I mean, she still does say it, but one of the best things, and I always used to get annoyed when she said it when I was a kid, but it makes so much sense now. She always used to say, poor planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part. And it's so true. Words to live by. So, this is my little advice section of the stream. If somebody is panicking, if your boss or whatever is panicking because they planned poorly, just relax. You know what? Poor planning on their part does not mean that you have to suddenly go into a tailspin, right? They don't get the control of your peace, they don't get the control of your day. Did I still do the extra work that my boss wanted me to? I did some of it. I did a reasonable amount of it. But then the rest of it, I was like, you're gonna have to figure the rest out for yourself. Because, again, I'm not here to rescue you when you don't do your job. And effectively, that's what it was. Boss didn't do his job, team lead didn't do her job, and then they're scrambling at the end of the week trying to basically pull numbers out of thin air. And so they wanted me to go do a bunch of numbers. And I'm like, I'll do some of the numbers, but I'm not going to do all of them. Could I have done all of them? Yes. But I wasn't going to because, like I said, poor planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part. Simple as that. Simple as that. So, yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, anyways, so now I am just enjoyed my weekend, didn't log back into my work computer, and I have to log in tomorrow, but it's Monday, but it's okay, it's okay. So, what are we looking for as far as trades? I'm not looking for anything right now. I mean, as you can see clearly over here, and this was beautiful, right? Typically when there's a gap like this, we have to come and fill it somehow, and we did. We don't always have to fill it super early, but we did. Eventually we came up and we filled it. So now we're looking at okay, so now what do we do, right? This gap just got filled, so now we're selling back down. We might start to chop around, I don't know, but the best trade was probably this one when we were buying. Where was it at? 402, so that would have been right. Yeah, so it would have been right about here where the entry was. Yeah, so the entry would have been right here, and then you would have gotten this nice little push, boop. So yeah, that's what happened. So yeah, I mean, honestly, this was a good one, but it was at 726, which I wasn't here. So yeah, my clock's off because I'm seeing 26, 7, 28, 29. There, this is like a second off. 33, 34, 35, 36. Yeah, for some reason, this is a second off of this. Odd, very odd. And then, my clock on my computer is also wrong. It says that it's 7:49. Why? But that's so weird. The clocks on Top Step X and TradingView are a second off. And this one's just completely wrong. Let me go into the actual time and try to fix it. Okay, now it should be correct. That was weird. It's like skipping seconds. Okay. So this one's behind. This is a second behind because I just synced my clock on the computer because for some reason it was synced improperly. I don't know how that happens, but it did. And so the one on the computer is in line slightly ahead. So the one on the computer. So, okay, so the one on the computer is like not, it's ahead of this one, but it's the same. Like this will turn, one a split second before this turns. So these are basically synced, and then this one is just a second off from this one. So yeah, that's weird. The clocks are similar, but they're not right. I've never really noticed that before. I don't know if that's just a now problem with the time change or what. Okay, so yeah, there's no trades to be had, so we're just chilling right now. Imagine if I had my previous strategy, right? So let's say we took every single flip and we ignored any of this, right? If we took every single flip, you would take this. Now there's nothing to say that this is a bad trade, but you would have taken this, right? And what you're seeing is we've sold off quite a bit. We've lost quite a bit of momentum, and this is saying that we're sell heavy. This is saying we could be entering a chop zone. There's nothing to say that it does or doesn't complete. It can, it might, it looks like it. Okay, it just did, right? But again, when you're taking every single flip, right, you end up with things like that, right? You end up with things like this, this. You end up with a lot of bad ones. So the reason why we don't take every flip is because we're trying to minimize the bad ones. We're trying to minimize the bad ones that we're taking. So this could potentially, and I mean, if we get another green break, it could potentially turn this green. Depends. This is very low. So if it did, that would probably be an entry, but we'll see. See what's going on over here. You know, that's the thing. You can't really predict the future. Nope, can't do it. It's not possible. Not possible. So we just sit and we wait. And also, remember, today is. Can you see this? No, wait. Today is the 2nd, and we have until the 7th to pass the account before it won't reset. So I'll still have the account, but we're just gonna stay the course and stay steady. I'm not gonna try to go crazy and lose the account for what reason. So yeah, we're just gonna stay steady because we want to trade as if we were trading real account, real money, real livelihood, because that's the whole point. Is this needs to be a livelihood. It needs to be. And so if we're trading erratically, how can one live off of erraticness and things that just don't make sense? You can't. So let's see what we got going on. Very nice. Very nice. See if we get a completion. If it turns green, I'll have to enter. But we'll see if this turns green. It did not, so we did not enter. That's why you have to be ready, because you know this could have turned green and then you would have had to enter it, but it did not. So that is okay. It's very okay. Hop over here. Ooh, it's bright. Move it. It's because of the way I'm sitting. My arms are not. Okay. November 2nd. Sunday. We so far have 0 trades. Oh, did I fix it? I did do this at the end of the last session. Yeah, it was a very slow week. I mean, we were static all. We didn't go in. It was break even last week. Not very many trades. Oh, let's see. Let's go back here. So this would need to hit. Oops. There we are. So we need to hit here. Just about to. Let's see if it gives us a green in a couple of seconds. So we're almost there. And we should be on it. It's like we're so close, we have to hit this. See, this is where you could put like it would be a limit order, you know, if you wanted to place a limit order so that you got in exactly at that point. See, I don't know if it's gonna give us a green, that's the thing. Because it could hit that point and not turn green. Although, I don't know. See, we've gone completely jumped we were almost there. We were sitting right about here. And then we just jumped all the way back down. So, yep. Alright, well, I'll go back here. No, we were going here. Yeah, so very slow week last week. We had 100% and 80%, and the rest of it was like break even, loss, and loss. So let me just move this back up here. Okay, so we have no trades yet. Sometimes it's slow, and it's almost 8 o'clock. So typically we start getting trades around 8. If I have a day where there's 0, I don't know. Because having a week where we had like 36 or something, and then going down from 36 to like, what was it? Some low number. I don't want to count it right now. Wait, I guess I can't. So this week, the first week we had 36 trades, and then the next week, sorry, not there. The next week we had 15. Like, how did we go from 36 to just 15? That's like half. And the first week we had 3,600 in profit. The next week we had zero. So very interesting, but it's not bad. Like, no data is bad data. It's just data. So and who knows? Maybe there is a better time. This time frame works perfectly for me, but because it works so well, it can also work at other times of the day where maybe I'm not streaming it, but I'm still at the computer. I see the stuff, I see the setups, and I enter, right? Like, it could be as simple as that. So but this is good for consistency's sake. But also, if I do want to trade during the day, which is possible, but I do have to go back and like go over some numbers and what that's gonna look like. See. Ooh, what happened there? You see, we were almost, and imagine if that had just tapped you in, right? And then just jumped all the way back down. See, that's why sometimes you don't want to get in right when it changes. Sometimes you want to wait for it to come back down, because then you get a better entry that way. What I see happening is a lot of flatness. Yes, for some odd reason, I don't see a whole lot of movement. We already filled the gap, and if you want to look back, let's do. I mean, we've been selling since our highs over here. We've been selling since Friday's high. So, I mean, selling is still predominant, I would say. So I really wouldn't even want to buy into this, especially again, right? If I was going to buy, it would have been around here before we filled the gap. After, I'm not looking really to buy, especially because after so much movement, I'm going to expect it to enter some consolidating period, which is what I believe is happening here. So again, not super interested in buying this. And if I did, I wouldn't go in with, wouldn't go in with 2 contracts. Sometimes if it's not looking good, just don't trade. I mean, because the best opportunities you're gonna get is when it's already consolidating and then you see some sort of a break, right? You can clearly see the consolidation here, right? So here we have consolidation constantly hitting this low, right? This consolidation, and this was around 6. So yeah, this is your consolidation here, which is your consolidation here, and then you have that break, which is this break, which breaks above, and then you have that pullback and then a nice entry. So this is good to trade. Anything in this, no. And because we already had this, I'm expecting a chop, and that's why it's kind of a no. It's a no-go zone. Let's see. But it's okay. There's 5 days in a trading week. There are 5. Oh, lovely. There are 5, and you don't have to trade every single one of them. So I'd rather wait for a good day where it's clean and it's clear than trying to just get in because, it's the first day of the week, so try to start off the week right. I'd rather start off the week right with maybe no trade at all. I really would like to get over like just the fear of trading, I feel like I have in a sense, but still, that anxious feeling that you get when you just enter a trade and you're like, oh no, is it gonna work? Is it not? Yeah, I don't know. I still get that little bit of anxiety, and I wish that would just go away. but I feel like the more I do it, the more, I don't know. I do notice that whenever since I've started streaming, whenever I start off, just start off with the right mindset and reminding myself of why I'm here and why I'm doing this, I feel less anxiety. It's not like completely gone, but I feel less anxiety. So as far as where I am, like spiritually, relationship wise, I'd say good. I feel like I've had a lot of clarity on just feelings in general. I don't know. I don't want to go too deep into the chaotic mind that is me, but I have a lot of history, we'll call it history, and that history sometimes prevents me from living fully in the present, and sometimes it prevents me from seeing a beautiful and bright future. Sometimes the darkness of history and past, sometimes the night, it clouds my days. I mean, imagine like you have a terrible nightmare and then you wake up and you're in a cold sweat and you're just like, and then sometimes that feeling, like that feeling from like a bad dream, it kind of like carries, like when you wake up, it's not just gone because you woke up. Sometimes those feelings and those whatever you were feeling in the dream, it carries over. And so I look at that as my past, right? Sometimes the feelings from years ago, right, or things like that, it carries over into my present. And it's not like I'm living certain things, it's not like I'm in it, but yet emotionally, like my brain hasn't fully calmed down. So I know I have a lot of work to do in that regard. 1 second. 1 second. Okay. Yeah, my fiance was just getting off of work and he was trying to call, but anyways, so I was saying I have a lot of work to do in the department of fully letting go of just old habits, emotions, feelings, patterns, uh, because I realized that a lot of the patterns I have, they I don't know, interpret, but they filter what I see and how I see it, and in my experience. And so yeah, I realized that last week, because sometimes when I can't move past something, or when I'm struggling, I always look to God and I'm like, God, why haven't you helped me through this? But it's like God's given me all the tools that I need to move on. I don't know. I just haven't. So, I think realizing that the responsibility is on me to put aside old hurts and emotions, and I wouldn't say grudges, but just things. I think the what was I saying? Yeah, I think that the responsibility is on me. It's not just gonna magically go away because I wish it away, you know. And so that work is on me. So yeah, it's almost, we're 20 minutes in, so I don't think, I mean, we have 20 minutes to go, so I don't even know if we're gonna get an opportunity. So we'll see. Alright, so let's see. We should be. Why has this only been going for like 35 minutes, but we've been streaming since. I don't know, that's weird. Okay. Actually, how long have we been on? Oh, like 45 minutes. Wait, not really sure. Oh, like 40 minutes. Cool. Yeah, there's no trades happening, no setups, nothing good. Let's go back over here. Yeah, exactly. Just chopping down, but still chopping. So, it's okay. If there's zero, I don't know. Maybe because we're getting into November, we're getting into that holiday season. It could slow down a lot. In which case, I may have to look into, trading opportunities during other times of the day. You know what I want to put back on this chart? I'll tell you what. It's the sessions, because I like to be able to see the sessions, but I always take them off. I'm always adding things to this. Some of them are unnecessary. For example, this does not need to be on here. Nope. Okay. I just have the RSI zone so I can see where we, overbought, oversold. Okay, let's go find. Here we go. Sessions. We didn't have to look for it. Isn't this typically yellow? So random. Okay, that's better. So now let's go fix this. So we only see. I want New York. I don't want London. And I don't want Sydney. Nobody says Sydney sessions. They're like Asia session, not Sydney. I don't know why that's a thing. You know what I mean? We can't sell until we're below this. So any sells we get, it has to be below. And the buys, we're already too sell heavy. So I don't know. I just don't see any trades happening today, which is fine with me. Okay, so New York session starting way back here. It's not a big block. Okay. I mean, so that would not have been a trade. This would not have been a trade. This would not have been a trade. That would not have been a trade. This would have been. Yeah, this would have been a trade. Oh, look, we got a green. Doesn't matter. So yeah, this would have been a trade. That would have been a trade. This would not have been a trade. This would have been a trade. That would have been a trade. And then this would, 1, 2, 3, 4. This would have been a trade. This would have been This would not have been. This would not have been. This would have been a no. This would have been a yes. This would have been a no, yes. And a loss. And yeah, this is weird. Weird. A lot of chop before we did that whole thing. Wish you could see like just big runs with like a pullback and then a continuation would be nice. All right, let's go back. Let's go back. Yeah, there's nothing. See, unless we shoot up somehow, it's not gonna give us a buying opportunity, and unless we shoot down, it's not gonna give us a selling opportunity. So I don't see anything. I don't see anything happening today, honestly. But that's okay. But yeah, like I was trying to say is I could look for opportunities during the day at a consistent time of the day where I can consistently show up and it's not arbitrary and random. And here's the thing. During the day, during these blocks of time, here's what I'm doing. So between about 6:30 to about 7:30, I'm usually getting up, getting ready, taking the dog out, getting logged into my work computer. I might take the dog to the park super early before 9, but yeah, it can happen, but it's not like a, I don't know. It's not like a necessity thing. I don't do it every day. I try to change up my routine a little bit for the dog so that he's not, bothering me at a specific time. Like, oh, we need to go out, but I'm in a meeting. So that's why I like to change it up just a little. But typically between 6, when I wake up at 6, and I'm usually all ready to go back from the park and everything by 9. Usually by 9. Then sometimes at 9 I have a meeting, sometimes at 10, and sometimes at 10:30. It changes. And so usually between about 6 and definitely 11 to 11:30, I'm busy. Like I actually, let's take off these headphones. Yeah, so typically between about 6 when I wake up and about 11:30 to 12, probably 12 is when I'm the busiest, right? Because I'm getting work done, and I work best in the morning too, so I'm typically busy during that time. Like I actually don't have time to sit down, right? I couldn't consistently sit down at a specific time every single day and be like, okay, this is when I trade, right? Or this is when I check the market. Now, maybe on like Wednesday is the only day, okay, Wednesday and Friday are the only days I don't have meetings. So those would probably be the only days that I can, sit down and look at the chart for any amount of time, but I'm typically working. So it's like, okay. So anytime after maybe noon, oh, nice. Anytime maybe after noon, I could effectively, open up the charts. But that is a very, I mean, it could happen. I could do it. It's hard. It's difficult. Anyways, just because, I don't like to interrupt my workflow, and sometimes I do have a nice workflow and I don't like interrupting it, so it makes it a lot harder to just get stuff done. Anyways, so yeah, we'll see what happens here. But yeah, I mean, if there's no trades within the next 11 minutes, it's gonna be a 0 day, which I haven't seen before, so that will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see a 0 day, but it's okay because zeros are not negatives, and not negatives are good. So, let's see. Oh, so what happened there? Nothing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're not gonna get an entry. So, at least not a green one, not just yet. So I'm looking after afternoon. There used to be a way that you could, there used to be an indicator, and I don't remember what it's called, but you can do time frames. You could set your own time frame so you're not, basically, you set your own time frame and you're not following these session-based frames. So, but alas, I do not remember what that was called. Wow, let me just go up here real quick. All right, so we have 1, 2. We just broke past, which is nice. We have 1 and it just turned green, but that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's too many. So we would need a red and then a continuation of green. So if we don't get a red within the next 9 minutes, we don't have any trade. So that would be that for the rest of the evening. We did surpass this because we were kind of right at it here, but now we just broke through. So that's a good sign that maybe we're buying up overnight, or at least for a period of time. So yeah, we need this. We need a red, because otherwise there's no entry, there's no opportunity to enter. So and that's why we have the little alerts that we get that helps, so that we don't have to stare at it. Okay, but anyways, let's go back to here. That should probably be a red. Probably. No, it's not. Shocking. I just saw this and I was like, that's gotta be a red there, but it was not. We would need quite a bit more. Well, not that much more, like 5 more ticks. 3. Okay, not just kidding. Maybe we won't get it. Sometimes it gets super close and it just doesn't go all the way, but that's okay. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. Yeah, we'd need to pop down to here in order for us to get a red brick. Here for a red brick. Okay, wow, there it's red. So now you have your red brick. So now what you're looking for is wow, that is pretty sad looking candle. Anyways, so now what you would need is a green. See, and it just turned red again. So that one just changed it back to red. So you would need it to turn back to green again, which it has the potential to do. And so that would be the potential for a primary entry, because this just turned abruptly red, but I don't like that. So I mean, look at this candle. Is just complete reversal. Wow. Yeah, okay, I don't see a red, I don't see a green happening unless it shoots up magically. I don't see one happening. So this, especially within the next 6 minutes, no. So yeah, that was pretty sad. I mean, okay, now let's look back. If we had taken every single flip, would all of them have worked out? Absolutely. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would have been 5 trades right there. But we don't take every single flip. We filter our flips, which means, we miss out on, yes. When you filter, you do miss out on opportunities. That is a given. It is a fact. Got 5 more minutes left on the clock. Yeah, I mean, I could see myself, popping in at like noon just to like, check the market and stuff. It's not bad. Um, but yeah, this is the most consistent time for me. It also makes it just makes an hour go by so quickly. I mean, who would have thought? But yeah, I don't see we're not getting a trade in the next 4 minutes, so I'm not gonna call it just yet. But yeah, I wow, shocking. Anyways, and that was a major fake out. Because imagine you're watching this and then you see it come up and fill the gap, and you're like, oh, yeah, it filled the gap. And then you see that really quick break, and you're like, oh, yes, we've done it. What do you want to do? You probably want to get in, right? And you're probably like, yeah, cool. I wanted to get in. I was like, oh, just give me a little pullback so I can get in. What if I had seen this little pullback and I was like, okay, I'm going to enter at the bottom of the pullback? And I entered, and it kept dropping. You see, that's why you have to wait for things to happen. And yes, will you miss things? Could I have sold here? Sure, I could have, but like, why? I'd rather not, because when you filter, you lose out on a lot of potential wins, but you also lose out on a lot of potential losses as well. And I would rather, I'd rather that than the alternative. Yeah. Anyways, do I feel like this would evolve a little bit more? 100%. For example, it might evolve in the perspective of breaking out of chop. So for example, if we're breaking out of a chop zone, I may change and add a new entry parameter that gives us some more tight parameters around a specific situation. We're not there yet. So we have 2 more minutes. This is gonna be the first day where we have 0, and I mean 0 trades, and honestly, it's kind of unsettling. Like, what? I don't even know. I don't know what to say. We went from having 36 1 week, 15, and now first day starting off the bat 0. All right. Let me go. Yeah, this is a 0 day. Let me look up the last 2 Sundays. Okay, last two Sundays. First Sunday was 9, second Sunday was 5, next Sunday 0. Couldn't even give us 1. Shocking. All right, so I'm gonna call it because we're down to seconds. Say 0 trades between. What did we start? We started at 7. We had started at 7:26, but we don't start that early. Okay. Between 7. What did I do? What did I do? 7:30 and 8:30. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's a wrap, folks. 0 trades between, normally we get a lot more movement, but as you saw, right, just looking at the structure, sometimes it's not as simple as a time frame. Sometimes this is why we have this chart over here, because as you can see, there was a drop, major drop, consolidation, gap fill, consolidation, and we're technically still in consolidation because we haven't really moved anywhere. And when we have a wide period of consolidation, so like, how wide is this? Let me check. I'm gonna go from here to about the top of this. Maybe here. So it was about 100 ticks of consolidation. So when you have 100 ticks of consolidation, which means top to bottom, it can actually work in your favor where you can take each flip. Maybe we're gonna work on this one, but if we have a wide period of consolidation, it could actually work because then you're selling at the top, buying at the bottom, selling at the top, buying at the bottom. And it's nice because we are getting movement. It's just not really directional at this point in time. So that is all. Not a bad day. I mean, there were no opportunities, but there'll always be opportunities at some point. Let's see. 0. Such a sad day. 0. I mean, I think this should just be non-applicable, right? Okay, yeah, I don't know what it's like. Help. Cancel. Yes, it's an error. We know. Just gonna fix that. Okay. Will it allow me? Potentially. Alright, so there you have our total win rate, 78%. 51 trades, 40 wins. Not a terrible number. But yeah, we'll see how this fares after like 3-4 weeks of doing this. Because we're in week 3 right now. Yeah, we are in week 3 because the first week when I started the account, I didn't actually trade anything. So let's look at it. Because yeah, I got the account. It's November. I got the account this week on the 7th, but then I didn't trade until, the next week. So that's what happened here. Anyway, so yeah, we are technically in the 3rd week of the strategy, but the 4th week, because this was not what was this? I don't even remember. But we're in the 3rd week of the strategy, 4th week of the account, and we're not going to go crazy. So that is a given, hopefully. Anyways, that's all I have. It is now 3 minutes past. I will be back on. Let me just set up, since I'm here, let me just set up my other stream. We just schedule a couple so I don't have to do that. Also, I'm kind of jamming to these tunes. They're vibing and I like it. I kind of like the synth wave with like an 80s feel. Three new settings. So tomorrow, it's Monday, but because of the time change and just it was already starting to get darker earlier and now it's really dark. So we're gonna be doing fitness at somebody's gym. I always don't like it because they don't even live that far away, but like with traffic, it takes me an hour to drive there. Like, I'm not even joking. It takes an hour to get over there, and so every time it's an issue. It's just like, why must it take this long? Why are there so many cars? So I always end up leaving Fitness is at 6. I end up leaving at 5. I get home at like 7, I don't know, 7:30, 7:20. And it's a long evening that ends up taking like 2 to 2.5 hours of my evening, which is fine. It's just like, it's annoying, right? And Zazio's alone that whole time. Monday. Editing some things. I kind of want to see if there's any trays that happen within the next maybe couple minutes, but it's not gonna happen. Is somebody's birthday this month? Oh wait, there's a birthday on the 6th, and there's a birthday on the 16th. Yeah, 16th. I have a friend from South Korea, and her birthday is this month, and one of my brother's birthdays is this month. Okay, here we go. All right, so that's it for today. No trades, no nothing. I mean, I wish, but it's fine. It's fine. Lord, just thank you for this day. Thank you for this opportunity to come sit down, listen to some 80s synthwave, and just watch the markets. Please bless this week as we go into it with just peace of mind, and clarity and protection from just all of the temptations, especially with work, because that is one of the things that will set me off. And then, just the relationship, the financial situation, and just a lot of other things that what's going on. And so just thank you for this day. It was beautiful. Thank you for allowing me to get outside and go for several walks today. Actually, how many? It's like 3. I think we went on it was 4 different walks today. So thank you for that. And thank you for a new week to start. Honestly, I am grateful for a new week. I'm happy, I'm excited, and that's how I want to start my week off, just thankful. Also, goal this week, that was the end of my prayer. In Jesus' name, amen. But now, I was just going to say, goal for this week is to get the car cleaned out because it's filled with sand. It's absolutely atrocious. Sometimes I don't even want to park next to the other cars because they can look into my car because I don't have tint still, sadly. And you can literally see I have tons of water bottles that I just kind of throw in the back of my car. Like I drink the water, throw them in the back. And then what else did I do? I mean, it's filled with sand. There's a bunch of just unnecessary things in there. It's turned into like a little dumpster car. It's like a little it's a trash can on wheels, which is what I used to call my sister's car because it was literally like filled with just garbage. I was like, it's literally a trash can on wheels. So that's my car currently, and I need to clean that out this week. That is gonna be a priority because the Lord gives you things, you gotta take care of them. So not living in filth or driving in filth is just part of good stewardship. And also back trading, taking care of your account and not going in like max contracts for no good reason is also part of good stewardship. So that's all, folks.